On today's show, we are live on YouTube answering your questions. We got the chat rolling right now. We got friends in the chat. Good things are happening. We're talking about Jacory McLaughlin. We'll talk about Dragic. We'll talk about Luka versus Tatum.
I mean, I thought it was Tatum versus Jacory.
Did I get that confused?
Yes, you did.
We'll talk about that and more on today's Locked On Mavs.
Luka Doncic, and this is Locked On Mavericks podcast.
Dallas Mavericks are NBA champions. Bang! Bang! It's good! And the Mavericks have won the game!
If you don't believe, you shouldn't be here.
Welcome. You are locked on to the Dallas Mavericks. My name is Nick Angstead, media member and coordinator for the Locked On Podcast Network. And joining me, as always, my co-host, contributor at Mavs.com, writer and insider for the Dallas Mavericks, the beat-off boy, the one more thing king. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
No. We're not. You're not taking anything from yesterday's pod. There's no way. So
you don't want me to just play it right now?
No. We got to leave yesterday's pod behind us. This is a new day. It's a new dawn.
It's a new day.
But no, we have a brand new. Well, okay, the signing's not official yet, but Tim McMahon tweeted out about Jacory joining the Mavs in that second two-way spot. And if you listen to the podcast version of this, we're live right now on YouTube. It's 9:00 at night Central Time. And the chat is Jimmy. We're about to kick you from this chat. The chat is going strong on YouTube. This is going to be a different pod as we take questions in our live. You're in the chat right now. You're supposed to be listening to myself. Like we're going back and forth and you're in this chat.
It's the off season, if you couldn't tell.
It's the off season, but we're going to be talking about a lot of different things today and answering questions on the chat on YouTube, and also life advice questions. That's not going to be on the podcast stream. It's going to be extra on our YouTube channel.
So subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're getting ever closer to 7,000 subs. And once we get to 7,777, I think it just ends there, right? Like we don't get any higher than that. It just ends at 77777.
We have to drop a special video on YouTube when that happens.
With sevens? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, start getting your questions in. We will start taking them. Let's just start real quickly. This is not the biggest news of the day, but the Mavericks signed Jacory McLaughlin to a two-way deal. All things Mavs. Our friend Jimmy asks, is Jacory McLaughlin going to solve all of our secondary creative problems or what? Or what, Isaac Harris?
Yes. No, great question. You know, for the longest time, Dragic has been in the rumors, and now I don't think the Mavs have to go get Dragic. They have Jacory. That's going to solve all their problems and needs as a secondary creator. I'm kidding. Honestly, I mean, UC Santa Barbara guy, about the only thing I know about him right now. I mean, he played summer league for the Warriors, but I've heard analytics treat him well. And I mean, yeah, I don't get too high.
He seemed to have a rough summer league. Didn't shoot the ball well. Shot like 40% from the field, 30-something% from three. Not that great in summer league, but he did have some pretty good passes. I was watching some highlight reels of him, and I thought that he showed like good. Patience. I thought he was finding guys. He averaged like 5-something assists per game in summer league, which is kind of rare for guards in summer league to average that many assists. So I thought that he showed some of that. And so to take over for Nate Hinton, it'd be interesting to see what this front office thinks of him and compared to Nate Hinton. We're going to learn a whole lot about this front office and who they play and who they sign and who they keep around. So Jacory McLaughlin, everybody was asking who's going to be the other two-way guy. That happens to be the other two-way guy.
Here we go. This is it.
That's
all your Jacory McLaughlin content.
A follow-up question: will Nate Hinton's cutting be the reason we don't beat the Nets in 4?
I think we'll just beat them in 5 now. Do we have any real questions?
Here's a real question. We'll get to this one. Here's from Cheese Wiener.
Whoa.
How much do you think the roster has improved from last year? This is a great question. And I think that we've talked about this a lot. I'm sticking with the 10%. I think the Mavericks roster got 10% better. Now, that's just with additions. That's not, do I think Porzingis is better than last season? Do I think Tim Hardaway Jr. his play stays consistent all season? Do I think Luka takes a step up, right? That could change it to 15, 20%. But I think they got 10% better, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I mean, So you quote tweeted a thing with our Twitter account the other day, Locked On Mavs, and someone was just saying, I forgot who it was. I think it was a friend of the pod or longtime listener, Cameron, and just said that, hey, like, I'm tired of, he basically sent a tweet saying, I'm tired of, the optimism, tired of you guys just act like this offseason was so successful and like the home run and all this stuff. If you've been listening to this pod, would neither one of us have been saying that this was a home run offseason. Like, this was Nick has been saying 10%. I've been using the baseball analogy of saying they hit a single. Like they got the first. Okay.
There's gotta be an in-between. We can't just go tear it all down or everything's great and sun. That
doesn't work for social media.
Right. Like, it's not just one or the other sometimes. And I think we're, sort of in the middle on this offseason. Now, did they miss a huge opportunity? Absolutely, right? Like they definitely missed a big opportunity to take advantage. But how many guys changed teams that there were a max contract guy? Like, just one, right? Kyle Lowry was really the only guy that changed teams that was a max contract guy. So what opportunity did they really miss too? So you got to put it into context a little bit with that. At least they added some talent. They saved Tim Hardaway Jr. So it wasn't a disaster, but it also wasn't incredible either.
Yeah. Okay. So looking at the minutes played in the playoff series against the Clippers this past offseason, 7 games, remember, took a otherworldly performance from Kawhi to beat the Mavs in 7 games. These are the top minutes played on the Mavs. Luka, Tim Hardaway, Porzingis, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jalen Brunson, Boban, Maxey. That's the top 7 guys in minutes in that playoff series. Well, now you're adding Reggie Bullock and Sterling Brown to that. And however you think about Moses, but and however you feel like Sterling Brown's going to play, either way, you're adding those guys to this rotation. It's not like you're saying, okay, take away spot number 2, 4, 6. Oh, you're taking those top 7 guys who went to 7 games and adding Reggie Bullock for the most part, a little bit of Sterling Brown to the team. So they definitely got better. It's just they hit the single instead of the triple or home run that we were wanting them to do.
If they get Dragic, does it change do they get a double in your, do they get a double? Did they get a double and a half?
If they get Dragic, it's a double and it could be stretching for 3. Maybe.
Yeah, I would take it if they get Dragic, I would say maybe they got 20%.
It depends on what goes out for Dragic too. Like, we got to see, is this a bigger 3-team trade? Is there other players involved? If they give up, 2 of those top 7 dudes in that rotation and Dragic comes in, does that keep it a double? If they get Dragic for free, just out of like a buyout, then heck yeah, sign me up. So it depends on what that trade looks like.
We got another one here, just a quick one we'll get to from All Things Mavs, our friend Jimmy. Real question, because I put the poll on my Twitter. Who makes a bigger impact next year, Moses Brown or Josh Green? Let's say they both stay on the Mavs, right? Like, let's say that neither of them is in a Dragic type trade.
Josh Green.
Josh Green makes a bigger impact, because I can see
pretty confidently.
I can make the case that Moses Brown fits a role so much easier than Josh Green, and you could see him rolling, and Luka can make him so much better. Like, Luka can make Moses Brown better than he can make Josh Green, right?
I just don't think Moses Brown plays over Willie and Dwight.
It's hard. Yeah, that is hard. I don't
see that. So that's my only thing. And I love the prospect of Moses Brown. If they combine some of the other centers on the roster for a bigger trade for like Dragic, whoever, then yes, like, I love the idea of Moses Brown. I just don't, with the center rotation we have right now, I don't see how Moses plays over Willie, Dwight, all these other centers on the team. I just don't see. After they picked up the team option for Willie, they have Dwight at $11 million. We know how they feel about Dwight Powell.
Coming up, we're going to get into some questions about Luka and KP, their relationship, all kinds of stuff. Like James says, like and subscribe to the
We got to talk about the Tatum thing. It can't just be an SEO grab.
Well, no one's asked I haven't seen the question yet. We'll get to it. Coming up
at the top.
But before we do, let's talk about Sweatblock. Sweatblock is a product that you need if you deal with perfusive sweating. If you're wearing a shirt like this, a gray type blue shirt, and you walk outside, if you're a big guy in Texas right now, or anywhere basically in the South, you're dealing with the sun and you're dealing with the heat. And as soon as you walk outside, you start feeling it. All of a sudden, you just start feeling your pores filling up with water droplets, and boom, all of a sudden you can't wear the same clothes that you wore during a time when it's seasonably cooler. And so right now, you need Sweat Block. Sweat Block is wipes that you just wipe under your armpits the night before. And for 7 days, you get a dry shirt guarantee. If Sweat Block doesn't keep you dry, you get your money back. So get the wipes, get the deodorant, whatever you can from Sweat Block. It's awesome stuff. You can wear what you want to wear. It's your little secret to confidence. Get it today for 20% off at sweatblock.com. When you use our promo code Locked On, it helps the podcast. It helps you guys sweat less. It helps you look better at all this. Go to sweatblock.com. Again, promo code Locked On for 20% off at sweatblock.com. Also, when I tell you about DirecTV, does this sound familiar? You've got one device that lets you catch the game live, another one that lets you stream your favorite shows. You're watching sports highlights on your phone, and you've got your neighbor's best friend login for the good stuff. You got all this stuff going on at once. It's hard to keep it going and hard to keep it all straight, but we found a way to get your TV together. It's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. That means no more juggling remotes and no need to buy another device ever again. I think I bought my iPad just so I can watch other stuff on it. With DirecTV, I won't need to do that. Get rid of the clutter and the confusion. Go get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at DirecTV.com. That's DirecTV.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package. All right, Isaac Harris. Speaking of package, let's get into the situation with Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. I like this question first. Now I have to scroll all the way back and find it because it lost my place. Of course.
This is gonna sound
okay. So sounds great on the podcast. Luka hates when KP pops instead of rolling down off screens. Did y'all feel like Luka kept the ball from KP intentionally to make his point? This question's from Travis.
No.
You don't think he kept it intentionally ever? Not even once?
No. Wait, let me pause that.
Because I think sometimes KP kept it in like to make a point just because. I think Luka kept the ball sometimes just because KP's not that great of an outside shooter. Like, he's not an incredible outside shooter. He was not a knockdown, like 50% on open threes type shooter. And so it wasn't the best play at the time. It wasn't always the best play. He can't always hit him with that open shot all the time because they would have scored like, 33% of the time. That's just not enough. Or 7 or whatever percent of the time.
Yeah, and I think there's a difference between Luka keeping it because he thinks he can make the better play than Luka keeping it just to prove a point that KP should have rolled.
True, that's different.
That's what I think is different. I don't think Luka is, driving towards the basket saying, "Oh, I'm not going to pass to you because you should have rolled, bro." No, Luka's going to take it to the basket because he's like, I probably can score on anybody in the league better than KP can shoot it from 3 right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of different conversations with his, with their relationship and all that. And I think we're going to see a different relationship between them this year. I think Luka learned a lot from the Olympics. The chemistry point that he made at the end of the Olympics was really big. And I think he was talking about KP in that. So hopefully we'll see that a little bit better. And we'll see what Jason Kidd does with them too. All right, let's get to it. This is from Crimson Beskar. Why is Luka better than Tatum? This was
you put as the title for this thing.
What?
You put for the title for this thing, Luka, why Luka isn't better than Tatum?
Luka isn't better than Jayson Tatum? Question mark?
Oh.
That's what I put as the title. This is also great for a podcast. We're rolling today. Okay, so this is a conversation on Twitter that I saw some people bringing up. I think it started with one of those BS tweets that was like a picture of Luka with his hookah, like Luka Doncic, the real like actual Luka. And he was just chilling. And then there's a picture of Jayson Tatum in the gym with like full sweat and all that. He needed sweat block that day. And they were like, "Oh, Luka's just chilling. This is what a real workout looks like. This is what a real player looks like, what a real, player does." And so then I think it evolved into Tatum is better than Luka. Now, that's laughable for us. I think everybody in the chat is just completely laughing at that idea. It's a little incendiary that I put it as the title for sure and all that. Like, I get that. But let's explain it. Why is Luka better than Jayson Tatum?
Well, he's just better. Like, first off, let me say this. This one is a little bit difficult for me in the sense of when I think of young players, Jayson Tatum is the one that's right behind Luka, in my opinion. Like, Trae Young is more laughable to me. Zion is more laughable to me. Jayson Tatum is the next guy. So one, I'm probably not gonna laugh as hard as the majority of people in this chat, or like majority like Mavs fans in this, because I actually think Tatum is closer to Luka than all the other young guys in the league. When I say young guys, like in that age range. So because Tatum, like the thing Tatum has that Luka doesn't have is that defensive stopper ability. That's the thing that Tatum has. Now, let's go to Luka is the better playmaker. Luka is the better passer. Luka can run your whole offense. He can run point guard much better. I think it's easier to build around Luka than it is Jayson Tatum. Like, we could go all day with that stuff, but Jayson Tatum's the better defender. And I'm a huge believer in Tatum. And that's the unfortunate part about this is I hate that it's like either or. I think both of these guys are young, cornerstone, really, really good players that I think both of them will be top 10 players in the league for a long, long time. The thing Tatum has too that I'm sure I haven't really engaged with this discourse online is Tatum has a lot of playoff experience already. He's already been in like 7 or 8 playoff series. He's already been to 2 conference finals. I get it. He, is in the East. I mean, LeBron benefited from that for a decade when everyone wanted to throw out there and be like, hey, LeBron made the finals again. It's like, okay, cool. He went through a YMCA league to get to the finals.
This year might actually be true, though.
This year is true, but
this year the East might be better.
LeBron's playing Bishop Sycamore in the Eastern Conference, finals to get there. So, Jayson Tatum is not better than Luka Doncic. Like that. That's funny because I think Tatum is a top 20 player in the league where Luka is a top 5 player in the league. It's not even a debate. They're not in the only debate you can have is who would you rather start a franchise with? And like Luka's 1, but like Tatum's in that, like, oh, Tatum's top 5, top 3, but Tatum's not even in the top 10 as far as best overall players in the league. So it's not even close.
Yeah, this is a pretty easy one, but you start looking at their numbers, and even their numbers don't even match up, right? Like Luka's numbers are such on a different level. Like even as a scorer, Luka's just so much better as a scorer than Jayson Tatum, and Tatum can hit different shots than Luka can, and he can do different things than Luka can, but Luka is an offensive engine unto himself. They wouldn't have to go get Kemba Walker, right? They wouldn't have to go get somebody like that. They wouldn't have they wouldn't have the problems that they had offensively last season if Luka was on the Celtics. I think maybe that's a blasphemous take, but Luka can just create out of nothing. Jayson Tatum is not necessarily creating out of nothing for others and creating out of nothing for the whole team. He creates his own shot for sure. He's great. He's a really, really good player. He's getting better, all that kind of stuff. Defensively, obviously Tatum has the advantage, but there's just something different about a guy that can get his own shot at will, that can create a shot for others, that can take a guy like Tim Hardaway Jr. and go from like a 33% three-point shooter to a 40% three-point shooter when he's on the floor. He just creates that for guys like that. He just creates for others, and he just got Tim Hardaway Jr. paid basically.
Yeah,
because he was a completely different player when he came into Dallas and until now.
I want to emphasize too, I think like Celtics fans, I'll just say Celtics fans would have a good point too, that I think even as fans of Mavs or Luka, you just have to say, yeah, good point. Like the argument for Tatum would be, hey, this guy's guarding the other team's best player. You're not going to do that with Luka. Hey, Jayson Tatum has performed, average 28, 30 points a game in the conference finals of a playoffs. He's helped lead his team through 7 playoff series in his first, 4 seasons in the league. So there are arguments for Tatum. That's why I think Tatum is the clear number 2 whenever you do the best players under 25 or best players under 23, however you want to do that. That's why I don't like this discourse because I'm just really high on Jayson Tatum. I think he's really, really good.
Coming up, we got to get to as many questions as we possibly can. It's the third segment, rapid fire. We'll get to them as quick as possible. People asking about Zion, people asking about Dragic, a lot of stuff in the chat. We'll get to it coming up. But before we do, I got to tell you about Built Bar. Built Bar is a protein bar that tastes like a candy bar. If you don't know that by now, you just haven't been listening to the show. They got all kinds of stuff. They have all kinds of new products all the time that you can get. I've told you about the flavors. Mint brownie is great. The coconut is great. The raspberry, the cherry barcia. People love the cookies and cream. Those are great flavors, but they just added the coconut marshmallow puff. That adds a little bit of marshmallow inside of your protein bar, inside of your Built Bar. That's absolutely delicious. And also, you have the coconut almond and peanut butter brownie protein balls, and these are vegan. I know a lot of people like my friend Ross Jackson, who hosts Locked On Saints. He can't eat these Built Bars because they weren't vegan. Now this is a product that you can eat. So if you've been saving off, if you've been holding off, you want a protein type bar that you can eat, these protein balls are for you. 10 grams of protein. They're gluten, grain, and dairy free, each one of them. So go check it out. Use the promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off at built.com. Also, I want to tell you about betonline.ag. BetOnline is the best place to put some money down on sports. Lots of stuff coming up all the time. NFL action always. Dallas Cowboys, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Game 1. Cowboys, 7.5 point underdog. Over under 51.5. That seems high. 51.5. First game.
Who they play again?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
51.5. I mean, Tampa might put up 51.5 by themselves.
Yeah,
I'm taking the over on that. Cowboys defense is going to suck.
Is Dan Quinn back? Do we know if Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, is back? Do we know, is Michael Parsons going to make that big of a difference for this team? They're talking about maybe they're going to trade Jalen Smith. Lots of stuff with the Cowboys. But if you want to put some money down on the Cowboys, or you're like a masochistic Cowboys fan, you enjoy some Schadenfreude, you want to put some money down on the Bucks, go ahead. BetOnline.ag, use the promo code LOCKEDON, get a 100% welcome bonus with your first deposit. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. All right, Isaac Harris, let's get into some more questions.
I want to say something real quick. The Luka hookah thing. If you're trying to pull a picture, which I have those pictures saved on my phone, they're hilarious. I'm gonna use them for beams throughout the season. Luka is a top 5 player at the age of 22. He is already he won 2 first-team All-NBAs. So it is hilarious to me whenever he is getting tweets of him side by side with players who are not at his level working out. I'm like, hey, congrats. I'm glad you guys are working out. Try to get to Luka's level.
Yeah, I was going to say, they have to do that.
I'm like, I think this shows more about Luka than the other guys, that Luka's like, bro, I can sit back on my hookah and chill out because y'all are just trying to get on my level. So I enjoy these tweets. Send more of them to me. I need more. I actually think I might lean into it. I'm going to find a random player working out and be like, hey, what if Luka was working out like campaign?
Can we find one of Alonzo Trier?
Oh yeah. Somebody DM me right now. Try to find me Alonzo Trier working out, and I'll put out a tweet. We
got over 100 people watching the stream right now. Somebody's got time on their hands to find Alonzo Trier working out.
Please
talk soon. All right. That's a deep cut. Like, that joke goes back years now. How long we've been doing this with Luka.
Hey,
all
if only Salah could block shots inbounds.
Let's get to some.
You haven't used your soundboard this entire time.
We're going to get to some more questions from James. Would anyone trade Luka for Tatum? No, that's another one. If you can just look at that and say, okay, no one would even trade him straight up. You have to look at the contract and all that, but no one would trade Luka straight up for Tatum, right? The Tatum side would have to add stuff to it. That's an easy way to say who's better. Okay, well, one side has to add more.
Not even close.
Than that. TJ asked the question, how is Zion laughable? Dude averaged 28 with 0 spacing. Talking about a Luka-Zion comparison.
Yeah, have you looked up his injury history? And that, I mean, I just don't. You're asking the wrong guy when it comes to Zion. I never was all in like a lot of people were about him being like the next star of the league. I was on this podcast saying he was like a super more athletic, like Draymond Green type. I don't think he is a number one on a team. And I don't think that. So
did we do this with Giannis like last year though?
I don't think it's to the same level. No.
Okay.
Giannis doesn't have the injury history Zion does either.
True. And Giannis, the defense is way different than Zion. The size is a different thing. I think you would take length over girth, right? In a long-term scenario. Yeah. From town Brad Pitt, no association with Brad Towns Pitt, son. Can you see Moses Brown becoming Giannis 2.0 under Jason Kidd? I'll let you take this one.
No.
In what way? What way would Moses Brown be the closest?
No.
He's actually tall. He's actually taller and longer than Giannis.
Guys, just please, whatever you do, don't try to do the Tyson Chandler starter kit with Moses Brown. Just don't do it.
I'm just waiting for the training camp photo of Moses Brown standing next to Tyson Chandler if Tyson Chandler comes on the training.
This is gonna happen. He's gonna be at training camp down on the other end of the practice court working out. We're all gonna be tweeting from the practice facility, and Twitter's gonna erupt if he's even at camp.
Oh man, it's gonna be so great. Okay, here's the question: if the Mavs get Ben Simmons, dynasty maybe. Let's say hypothetically, let's play the what if game.
What if
the Dallas Mavericks got Ben Simmons, kept Kristaps Porzingis too? How good is that team? It's unrealistic, but let's just talk about it. Why not?
Oh, I mean, I think they're a really good team. I don't think they're automatic title team. I don't think they're automatic like, hey, same level as Brooklyn. But I think it definitely puts them, in my opinion, that would put them in that top group in the West.
Even though you have two guys in Porzingis and Simmons that have not been proven to be real big playoff performers, right? Like you get two of those guys together. That's why I'm sort of interested to see how this Bulls thing works out with Vucevic and DeRozan, like separately and in a vacuum. Those guys are both great players, but in the playoffs, they just haven't really shown up. I don't know if that would make the Mavs that much better to get Simmons with Porzingis because those guys kind of shrink in the playoffs a little bit depending on the matchup.
I think it actually would. Yeah.
It would make them that much better.
I think it would make them better. Yeah. You have an elite wing defender at that point. Like no matter who you play, LeBron, Kawhi, or whoever, like let's just take offense out. Like you have that guy. Like Dorian's good. We love Dorian, but Ben Simmons is the next level of that.
Marcus asked the question, who's winning in a fight between Luka and KP? Straight up fist fight.
Luka.
I think he's got pounds on Porzingis, right? Like
probably.
Porzingis has the reach, but Luka connects on one, and Luka probably is just like, he's so good at everything right away. He's probably has like perfect form on his punches, right? Like,
yeah, I would take Luka on that.
Just for no reason at all. Here we go. Here's a question that I think a lot of people are asking. Do you start Reggie over Dorian? From Roy.
Yeah, that's a great question. I honestly don't have a firm answer on that. I think
what about you? Not the Mavericks, but you.
I think it kind of depends on who else is out there. Like if they're running two bigs, then I think I want Reggie. But if,
on the other team or on the Mavs team?
On the mat. Like if the Mavs are starting Dwight and KP, then I want Reggie. But if they're starting KP at center, then I want Dorian out there. So, it's kind of a cop out, but sure.
I would like to start both.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the ideal starting lineup is Luka, Tim, Reggie, Dorian, and KP. That's what I want to start. So I think Reggie's better at defending point guards than Dorian, but I think Dorian's better at defending some of these fours in the league compared to Reggie.
The worst shooter in that lineup is either Dorian, who's had a pretty good percentage over the last couple of years, or Porzingis. Like Porzingis is your worst shooter in that lineup. That's pretty wild. From our boy Bates, does Boban look better with or without a mustache?
With.
The mustache, like he looked really good. I was surprised how good he looked with that mustache.
It's great. I love Boban. I don't care. Yeah, Boban.
Speaking of Boban, have you seen the video of Adam Sandler?
Boban.
Yeah. Playing pickup. I just need to see one-on-one, just once, Sandler versus Boban. Just one time.
That's our secondary creator.
That's what we need.
If we can sign Tony Romo, we can sign Adam Sandler. You heard it here first.
There is precedent for this, right?
Make that the title of the video today. We'd get clicks.
Oh, man. Here's just a good comment, just from a good person. Squiggly Man, Avatar the Last Airbender is the best show. It's true.
How do we end the stream?
Question. Opinion on the 5 to 6 centers on the roster. I think someone will get traded before training camp. Who do we think gets traded with the 5 to 6 centers? We have Porzingis, we have Boban, we have Willie, Dwight, Moses, and I count Maxey as like a small ball center too. That's 6.
Yeah, I don't think they take 6 centers into the season. So by training camp, okay, I was making sure you didn't say media day. By training camp, which training camp does start at the end of September, let's put a date in there. Let's put a better date in there and say by the first preseason game. Let's just say that.
By the first preseason game, somebody moves, but who is it? It's just Moses, and then they keep Porzingis, Boban, Willie, and Dwight?
No, I think it's Moses and Dwight.
Moses and Dwight go.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. There you go.
That's personal opinion, guys. That's not anything to that.
There is a lot more questions we'll get to on the stream. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We will be answering some more questions and getting into our life advice that we love so much, or dating and love and career questions that we get from people. It's awesome. Guys, on the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom.